Waalaikumsalam. How are you, sir? My name is Mohammad Affrin.
Assalamualaikum and a very good morning. Architect Abu Zarim, PAM Deputy President and also the Chairman of CPD Committee, PAM Council members, PAM members, PAM CPD Committee members, Secretariat staff, and also Garis Pixel, who is providing the technical support for this CPD online program. Welcome to this virtual session of PAM CPD Unlimited. 2 years ago, in November 2019, we had our first CPD Unlimited for the first time. I was invited by Architect Wan Sofia, the coordinator for the CPD Unlimited 2019 program, to present a paper. Regret that I have to decline the invitation because it clashes with my another program, the 9th Annual Development Conference in Singapore, where I was invited to present a paper together with our Minister of Housing and Local Government, YB Zuraida Kamarudin. I was informed by Architect Wan Sofia that the session in KL was well attended and there were minor issues on car parking space and room availability when we did the physical session 2 years ago. Time allocated for speakers were too short. Some couldn't finish the session before the following session starts in the same room. So initially, Architect Abu Zarim, the CPD chairman, planned to have physical CPD Unlimited program on 15 December last year. But due to the pandemic, then we have to postpone to 9th of January 2021. But again, the MCO was also extended several times, affecting our schedule. Finally, we have decided to have this session online. So today, this session will be conducted fully online due to COVID-19 pandemic and the SOP that we have to comply with. I hope this virtual session eliminates the problem that we had before. No more car parking problem, no more room availability problem, but please be prepared and tolerate with us. With this virtual session, speakers are everywhere. They are at home, in their office, and some are at PAM Center. So we are running multiple sessions concurrently. It is stretching the internet bandwidth that we have. But we have our technical team on standby. So we are experimenting this virtual CPD Unlimited for the first time. There are many things that we will learn from this session.
Today, we are the global leader in access solutions. It's a position that we have earned through strong growth and innovation in all core areas, such as sufficient door openings, trusted identities, and entrance automation. Some of our products are very visible, such as keys, doors, and locks, while other products are embedded in solutions like e-passports and identity solutions. We also combine products and software to become either a solution enabler or create additional value for our customer by being a full solutions provider. Being the global leader in access solutions is a result of our gradual evolution from being focused mainly on the door itself to having a wider perspective on our business and what we offer our customer. Our regional opening solutions divisions are the leaders in the provision of door openings and products for access solutions in homes, businesses, and institutions. Entrance Systems is the one-stop shop for automatic entrance products and services, including support and advice throughout the building process, as well as the provision of maintenance and updates. HID are focused on powering the trusted identities of the world's people, places, and things. making it possible for people to make transactions safely, work efficiently, learn confidently, and travel freely. And by focusing on end-user needs, Global Solutions provide total access solutions by combining products and software from opening and identity solutions to specific industry verticals, such as hotels and elderly care. As each of our divisions continue to focus on innovating and growing their core business, together we will continue to lead in access solutions.
Right, we start our presentation. Assalamualaikum and good afternoon to all. Architect Affrin and Asyraf, have you got your lunch?
Yes, yes, thank
I hope
you.
it's a good lunch. All right. Okay, I'll start with the presentation synopsis. Then I'll introduce both of you to our participants. All right. Where is it? Okay, the session will be divided into two parts. First part will be presented by Encik Asyraf on what and how Graphisoft BIMCloud works, file type supported for coordination, and how teamwork features operate in BIMCloud environment. Then our second session will be done by Architect Affrin, which he will be discussing on real projects, coordination with multiple different consultants, including architects, civil, M&E, QS, land surveyor. And on top of that, he will explain the pros and cons of BIM coordination on different platforms. So I will introduce Mr. Mohammad Asyraf Reeza, then Mohammad Rasli. He's from Graphisoft as a BIM implementation and business development, who is actively involved in BIM training, support, and business development. He's a graduate from Quantity Surveying UTM and practices in AMIT and Associate as QS for 3 years and been involved in private and government projects and also in charge of BIM development and training for the staff during the services. In 2012, he joined the developer company MCT Berhad and working closely as BIM manager for QS department and in charge of collaborating QS in with architecture, M&E, and other by using BIM platform. He also designed the workflow for integration between the BIM department and also trainings of the BIM software for all BIM department. Then Architect Muhammad Affrin Samsudin. He started his sole proprietor practice in 2015 before establishing a body corporate in 2006. The firm AASB has been blessed to survive economic challenges. Thus far, though, the principle is upheld. The dynamic personal work attitude, problem solving, creative resilience, and diligence in their works are important factors for the firms. And in 2019, this was a major turning point for this firm to embark into BIM, and the earlier ways of working on 2D using CAD tools has become too lengthy. It is noted during the same period, the demands of client has changed significantly. In fact, the client expects to speed up in producing the necessary output, and often the burden errors by other consultant lies in the architect shoulder. BIM is one of the major tools in the way of forward to address and minimize errors and visualization. So the firm policy on BIM that all projects secured in 2020 onwards has to be executed in BIM, upskilling the staff, equipping the equipment, and managing reactions are necessary steps in transitioning into BIM. So he's looking forward for the future, and it is important to keep the firm with the advancements of the world. So I give the floor into Mr. Mohammad Asyraf Reeza to start on his presentation.
Okay. Hello, Assalamualaikum and good afternoon. Before that, can you see my screen now, the slide?
Yes, Asyraf.
Okay. So, Assalamualaikum and good afternoon. My name is Asyraf Reeza. I'm a business development and also BIM implementation of Graphisoft. Thank you to each and every one for being here today. I am very pleased to be able to welcome those of you that have been knowing us for a long time. Now, as well as who are new, I am proud to be able here on this CPD Unlimited 2021 session with all of you. I would like to express my sincere appreciation to all of you who generously helped us make this event came together to become a success. Especially to AR Abu Zarin, we couldn't have done it without you. Before we start, I think it's better for me to give a brief about our company first. So, okay, before I start, I think it's better to talk about Graphisoft first. Graphisoft founded in Hungary in 1982, and the first version of ArchiCAD comes in 1984. At that time, it's running in Macintosh, Apple Macintosh, because that time the only computer that can gather the high 3D dimensional software is Macintosh only. In 2007, Netchat Group merged with the Graphisoft. So below the Netchat Group, they have another 6 strong brand with full focus on AEC. Our location is 67 location around the world, and currently we have 2.7 million of users. So the idea is the one of the platform that you can see from here is Graphisoft. So under the Netchat Group. So Netchat Group is a public listed company in Germany. I want to highlight about the Graphisoft, special for the Graphisoft. So in the Graphisoft, we have a Graphisoft BIM ecosystem. The first of all is of course is ArchiCAD as our main authoring tool, and then the BIMX for BIM model access tool, and the BIMCloud for our digital platform for facilitating data flow and integration of solutions. So in ArchiCAD, advantage features, a few highlight of ArchiCAD, while many know it is an authoring tool. It does more than just a creation of the BIM model, but serves as a main user interface for communication, tracking, and handling the BIM data, such as the teamwork, integrated communication palette, checking of collision detection among element in ArchiCAD, issue management, model comparison, and so on. So there are actually a lot of more to just a BIM authoring. Another one is a BIMX. BIMX is a lightweight app that run on mobile device such as phone or iPad or Android, what you call pad, right? It is used to access the BIM model published by ArchiCAD and can be used for BIM to site communication, virtual reality, and for ICE discussion. And another one is a BIMCloud. So it's our digital platform that facilitates BIM data flow among our system. So I will talk later specifically for the BIMCloud, but we will touch another platform or ecosystem also later. Okay. So the idea is this circulation it will be shared each other between these 3 platforms from the ArchiCAD, BIMX, and the BIMCloud. It can be a 2-way communication, not only 1 way. So I will give a brief about the details later. Before that, I want to brief a little bit about the BIMCloud. So what is BIMCloud? So BIMCloud is secure real-time collaboration between project team members, regardless of the size or complexity of the project, the location of the office, or the speed of the internet connection. So it's available on both private and public cloud configuration on standard hardware. Means even smaller office can take advantage of fast, efficient, and secure access to the shared project in real time. they have also we call that BIMCloud AAS, that everything, all the setting up will be done by Graphisoft itself. So you no need to worry to maybe need to hire the IT guys, because the Graphisoft will help you to do all the setting for you already. Okay, inside the BIMCloud, first of all, of course, we have the purpose of the BIMCloud is mainly to share the ArchiCAD project to the cloud, that later you can use it to communicate or to send the design changes, or including the data, the classification, especially with the BIM data, to another user or ArchiCAD user. And then it can be two-way communication. We can another user can send the data to the BIMCloud, and another user can receive the data, and etc. So inside the BIMCloud, you can set your users who gonna enter to the BIMCloud, list of the user, and you can set each of the user the rules of each user. Let's say like the lead architect, structurer, M&E, quantity surveyor, or even a client for viewing purpose only. And also it's very secure. You can set the username and the password. Means the people that only have a username and password only can access to the BIMCloud. On the BIMCloud also we have we call that snapshot. Means it will be automatically backup your data through the snapshot, and then you can refer your data or roll back or download your data on the at the end of the day. So you later you no need to worry about the missing data or whatever, because the system already done it for the backup for you. And also you can use the BIMCloud to make what called the in term of the messaging. You can directly, let's say you just do some comment or changes or annotate or snapshot from the BIMX, and then it will automatically through BIMCloud send the what called the comment to the ArchiCAD user. Okay, another part I want to highlight is BIMCloud is not only communicate with ArchiCAD, it can be a type file server also. So the idea is you not only can share your ArchiCAD file, but you can upload and download also the files from that used from any other BIM tools. You see from here like .ifc, .rbt, BIMX, even the CAD conventional file, DWG, PDF, images, and etc. So the idea is we can use this platform not only to communicate with the ArchiCAD user, but another consultant also that use another platform. And they can upload their file to the BIMCloud, and we can link the project, the file or the model to the ArchiCAD project for the coordination or collaboration later. Of course, it will be depend on the internet connection. So at the end of the day, yes, you can do it online, but you must have internet connection to do that. Of course, if you in the solo or in office only without internet connection, then you can still use it, but for the internal purpose only, or in the office only. You cannot share all your project outside of the office through the internet. Another thing I want to highlight is some of the company, let's say, we not only have one project, like we can have multiple projects. So in the BIMCloud also you can store your BIM project with on the same BIMCloud with the multiple projects. Here, like you see, so for each project, sometimes we have another team dedicated for every different project, like with the team, with all the documentation. So you can do either you have one BIMCloud only, but you can split between another team of the project. Later I want to talk about the integrated. I will touch about mainly for the collaboration and coordination. So I want to play one of the video here. So mainly from the BIM model, you will use it to discuss or collaborate with another people, maybe from another country or another office. through inter-country also by using BIM platform, and also all the data you have, you will use it to share to others, right? And to show your design also to when you do the collaboration. So another one is for the coordination. After you have your BIM model, you will need to discuss with your client or your consultant. So in here also, we must have a good platform to show or sell your model nicely and easier to understand to client and also for the consultant. And from here you can use in this system we have a BIMCloud. You can use mobile platform like your phone or your iPad to do this in very intuitive way. So the idea is we want to make sure either our team will stay connected regardless of the situation. Especially now, we just last year we facing the COVID situation, right? Actually in Graphisoft we have this system long before the COVID things happened. So that's why some of our client or customer can be what I call assimilate with the situation. Especially for the COVID situation, they have this system that they still can work from home. Either the things happen, the office, the government regulation, we need to decrease 40% of people only at the office, right? Now with this system, people or our colleagues can still work from home, real time, when they do their project. So I want to quote one more quoting from the Sweden, the table design. Working on the same model from different countries, we have less problem. So you can imagine that this system, everybody will have the same model at the same time, synchronized. If one of the user changes something on the model, so the other user can also get the latest changes in real time. So the idea is everybody will have to always to get the latest update of their model or their data or their 3D model, including all the documentation, So this teamwork make easy to everybody. Work from anywhere without missing a beat, regardless of the size and the location of your team or the complexity of the project. You see, maybe later you can see a lot of company that they have a remote working, right? Even now it's remote from home to the office. They still can work and get the data real time in terms of the updating. So everybody can always similarize their model that they have. And also one shared location. So real-time access to share model throughout the design process, and you can upload and refresh content in the model regardless of each team member's location. Thanks to our fast and simple publishing workflow. So you just only after you set up the setting of the publisher, just one click, it will automatically change or save to another type simplified file like IFC, even the RVT, PDF, and another file. So and it's also save time, avoid mistakes, and share file with confidence, knowing that the file is everything is up to date. And also, of course, from this platform also you can send instant messages between ArchiCAD and the BIMX from your mobile or directly from inside of the BIM environment from, let's say, from the ArchiCAD, right? So resolve design issues through instant messages or annotate the screenshot or comment from your mobile phone and using your mobile device, then send it directly to the user, the one that in charge to the user, let's say like the modeler or the drafter of the project, and then they can easily get the list of the comment and do the changes real time. Okay, manage your teamwork. So fine-tune BIMCloud to support both low trust and high trust company environment by set up the BIMCloud. So in ArchiCAD, in the BIMCloud, they have a built-in user permission management system. Like I said before, that you can set a specific setting for each user. Let's say like BIM manager, often they're supposed to have a full privilege to adjust all the information in the model, right? But for the drafter, maybe they need to, they can do the modeling only, but cannot touch on the detail of the name of the project, something like. So you can customize your built-in user permission on the management system in BIMCloud. You can edit role privileges to match your studio map setup and workflow reflecting the design or the documentation or in the stage of the project. Okay, in terms of the issue management, so it will resolve issue faster and reduce the risk of unsolved issues with the clear organization and communication with the BIM model. And also from this platform, it will integrate issue from third party with a compatibility with industry standard issue management solution. So you can even customize your compatibility or regarding of the detail of your file. Let's say some of the company that using Revit or Asyraf, you can set up to fit in with the local management solution or industry standard. Okay. Another thing I want to highlight is about keep track of the changes, because the system is a real time, right? So this built-in model checking workflow guarantee high quality design and saving you time and money, because you no need to do a repetitive work anymore, because everybody will synchronize to always get the latest update version of your model or your documentation, and detect, visualize the changes between models and revision in more intuitive way with the real-time notification. So the idea is the user just using the notification in ArchiCAD, send it directly to the another user that they can instantly get the comment and do the update of the model. Okay. Another one is one for all and all for one. So open standard and workflows mean collaboration is guaranteed regardless of what software team members are using. So we can say that the other consultant or other member, they cannot give any excuse anymore, because this platform can be run in or accept almost of all of the BIM tool that they have. They can just give the file and we can link it to the ArchiCAD file for the collaboration and coordination, and can use this Graphisoft solution to share model information between disciplines through BIMCloud and ArchiCAD that work together as it's like a central hub for the building information model. So you think we enjoy complete access to all information during the design process without the need of additional IT solution. So let's say like in ArchiCAD, this BIMCloud also they have stages, but we have also solution for the company that no need to spend much in terms of the server, because in the BIMCloud AS we have a cloud platform that you can use the platform. We will set up everything for you, then you just can run it on your ArchiCAD for the coordination. And also in this BIMCloud we have a snapshot backup system, so you can save time, avoid mistakes and minimize the risk of data loss with this efficient project management built on a shared model hub. This system is automatic history, will let you go back to an earlier version of the model at any time. Means, let's say sometimes, when we're facing off the project, right? Somehow our client want to revert back to the previous one. So this system already do the backup for you. So let's say if you want to do revert back to you can roll back or download from the previous version directly from the system. Another thing I want to quote is from Tilbert Design of Sweden also. So for teams of any size from any location, you can imagine now we must move our current conventional working to the cloud based, because from this system you can work anywhere in any location, not only a different office, inter-country also. Later maybe my friend can talk about Affrin will talk about this. So another thing we concern is about the secure system, right? So how secure is the system, right? So secure access through the internet reduce the risk of data theft while maintaining a live teamwork environment from anywhere. So this system is very secure. It supports HTTP, HTTPS, even a VPN protocol. So this BIMCloud operates on any level of data security, and it is easily deployed in public and private cloud environment. I'm gonna share with you. This is the user interface, the generate user interface of the system, the BIMCloud system, BIMCloud as a service. So as you can see now, people must have the login name and password to attach or enter to the project. So it's very secure. You can imagine that it's like my bank to you, say MB, when you log in, you must have a username and password to log in that. So the same things have idea is for the BIMCloud service. So it's very secure. You can even set your specific login name and password with the specific role to for your team. So some of the team cannot do anything because they don't have the full access. Only the BIM manager can have a full access to key in the new user. So it's very secure. And then, as we plan to host more and more data on BIMCloud in future, for example, all the team work projects, and not just of the project, but we also want to link the drawings, the hotlink modules, link the images, right? We can use this platform to store all the documentation there. And of course, at the end of the day, we want to publish the documentation, right, to the specific user or to the specific type. So this will all host on a separate file server earlier. But we plan to store this on BIMCloud for now on. So this data includes a lot of personal information like email address, user and company names of our clients, and actually their client as well, IP address. So all the very PNC information, right, inside the BIMCloud. So this information and data worth a lot of basically our client livelihood depend on it. If we miss out something or it will breach outside of the people from the outside can get this information, so it will trouble for us. So this system is very secure. It will be secure all the data. If something happen, whether it's a data loss or because of faulty hardware or data thief, then that can be a disaster for the customer and to us, right? So in here, we need to prepare the backup plan or recovery plan. Or if you have a BIMCloud access, the Graphisoft will do it automatically for you, so you don't need to worry about all the data missing anymore.
Mr. Asyraf,
okay, sure.
you've got 5 minutes to wrap your presentation.
Okay, sure. So I will wrap up that. So generally, I want to give a brief about BIMCloud. So the system is actually running in the cloud. So the idea is if we do the backup, then automatically the Google storage will be do the replicate all the backup that they have. So if something happens to your data, then you still have another backup. So you no need to worry about the missing or reflected with the virus infection or things anymore, because the system already backup for you. And summary, I want to quote the quoting from the Atelier de Architecture, the Blended and Goals France. Architecture has evolved, and the architect must collaborate on the project with many others. So I think we need, as architect, we need to move to the next step. Like, you know, in the timeline before this is from the sketch we do the CAD, right? This is another step. You need to jump to the BIM already to make it all the work with up to date and with the more secure, faster and easier. And another one I want to quote is from the Nonda Katsalidis, the principle of Fender Katsalidis. So teamwork made us really excited about the prospect of what it means for us as an organization. So for your information, this Fender Katsalidis is the one who designed the Merdeka 118 in Kuala Lumpur. So I want to give some teaser of the Merdeka 118 is the top of the building. So inside of the podium of the Merdeka 118, this outside. So they are our client. They're using ArchiCAD. So I can later maybe I will play a simple short video before we end off the session.
Okay.
Okay. So can you hear?
No.
No. Okay. So Carpenter is the design of the Merdeka 118. So maybe I can just try to skip it. I'm not sure why I cannot hear it.
It's very soft.
Okay, so the idea is they even the HQ is in Australia, right? But the project is in Malaysia, so they still can keep continuing to update or discuss or do a collaboration in with their team in Malaysia through this BIMCloud system. So you can imagine that with this huge, the second tallest building in the world, right? So it will help you to do your work more better, easier, and easy understanding in terms of the collaboration and coordination. So I would like to end here. So thank you very much for listening, and let's welcome to the moderator, Mrs. Nurfatehah, Rashid. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Asyraf. And now
Alright.
the floor is yours, Architect Muhammad Affrin.
Okay, sure.
Architect Affrin, you're on mute.
I think yeah. Okay.
Okay, I'm back online.
All right.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen and fellow architects. This is my first opportunity to speak in a professional fraternity. I'm humble. I would like to thank PAM for this event. My name is Mohammad Affrin Samsudin. I did my pre-university in Northern Consortium of United Kingdom in Shah Alam. Then later on did my degree in University of Manchester. Subsequently on my part 2 in the University of Sheffield, UK. I came back to Malaysia in our financial crisis 1998. And now we are operating under the name of Affrin Architect and Associates and Berhad, or ASB. A brief introduction. The firm is based in Kuching, having its branch office in Kuala Lumpur. In the firm, our members are currently at 35 people. A small office comprises of various backgrounds, i.e. architects, planners, interior designers, landscape architects, civil engineers. We do also have mechanical engineers, draftsmen, administration and accounts. Where we are now is largely due to our effort to prepare for the future. The principles in our business are perseverance, diligence, team working, and empowerment. A snapshot view of the team in the office. In ASB, we made regular visits to the factory and places of interest, and we do our own social gathering wherever possible. My talk to you today is on BIMCloud. It is a sharing of experience. By comparison to most of you, perhaps we are still at a very infant stage. And to move forward is also to look back in the past. And here I have a quote from Ray Dalio, who is a hedge fund manager. Time
Hey,
is like a
I
river.
think so the slide is not changed.
Ah,
Maybe you need to reshare.
okay. So this
Okay.
was the slide on
Okay.
the firm established
Okay.
in 2006.
Okay.
And this is a snapshot of our staff of multiracial and mostly based in Kuching. And I'm going into BIMCloud, sharing of experience, a practitioner perspective. A quote from Ray Dalio, a hedge fund manager: time is like a river that carries us forward into encounters with reality that require us to make decisions. We can't stop our movement down this river. We can't avoid these encounters. We can only approach them in the best possible way. Past, present, and future. In the past, I came from the era which is at transition from using manual drafting and CAD drafting, and it's not an alien tools for us back then to work with set square, T square, stenciling, FK style of writing, and we have this. When we did perspective, we have to know how to use airbrush and all this watercolor. And guess what? Storage of drawings, drawers and hangers. And in the firm now, currently, we are still, back in 2019, we were still doing models for our clients. And 2019, again, our staff are still trying to work based on CAD. And they do express their frustration. There are times that they are having difficulty to visualize things in 3D, especially when the architects come to sketch and they say, what the hell did my boss sketch here? So, if, and look at this, the transition of technology, storage by physical storage, then this era of floppy disk or diskette or
Yeah.
external hard disk, then portable hard disk comes in, then the era of CD
Server.
storage, eventually thumb drive and server. In our office, we have a server, and that server has broke down twice in the lifetime of the company, 18 years, and it's not cheap. And it stores data up to 6 terabyte, and we keep our data for our clients based on statute of limitation of 7 years. And BIM software and BIM cloud moving forward for the future, most of the firms, I believe, will encounter very similar situation. There is generation gap in the firm, and we do notice there are shortcomings whereby the issue about 3D visualization, there is also cultural differences pertaining to work attitude. Some say strawberry generation, some say the word millennial, some say generation X. And when it comes to hardware, when we have server or even PCs, you have to account for maintenance costs, breakdown, troubleshooting, parts replacement, and there is always this nightmare of virus and malware and spyware, etc. All these also compounded with errors and coordination, and that at the end of the day will cost the firm practitioners time and cost. Now, look at this simple flowchart. In a scenario where you are working with CAD, the architect will hand sketch, then pass to draftsman or junior architect to draw out in plan. If that is acceptable, the drawing will be developed further to include elevation, section, site plan, or 3D. Here, time is become very consuming. Then, if that proposal is acceptable, fantastic. But if there are some changes, you're back to drawing board, back to the CAD, then present again, then only you proceed to the next stage, planning or submission or tender. Now, our experience in BIM, architect do hand sketches, and architect at the same time draw it out in BIM software, and that would be translated immediately, concurrently into plan, elevation, section, and three-dimensional. That's fantastic. The turnaround time for a production easily save you. If you're looking at a two-story house, bungalow, 2,000 square foot, it saves you hours.
Yeah.
One day you can complete, within 8 hours you could complete, including perspective. And if this is acceptable, fantastic. But if there are comments by client, then you make amendments in BIM and acceptable, then you proceed to the next stage. Now, a typical setup for an office for young practitioners, young aspiring entrepreneur architects, a typical look on a 5 people office setup. PC may cost you 6,000, assuming Core i5 or i7. You may need Microsoft, unless you're using Apple. Then you need CAD. If you are working with CAD, now guys, there's no more subscription, there's no more perpetual license. All the licenses are mostly now running on subscription, and that costs you 5,688 per year. Today, it could be higher, susceptible to exchange rate and the country's economy. SketchUp for your perspective, and you may need plugins, V-Ray, Lumion, etc. Then if you are looking for the future, you might want to have server. Now, if you are going for a physical server, I'm putting, like in our office, we spend about 140,000 for our server. That is including Cat6 installation, malware, spyware, and switches, etc. And that is huge cost for a new firm. The turnaround for our firm was in 2016, the partners and associate had a meeting. We really wanted to go into BIM in 2016. To be honest, the delay was really because of money. We do not have the spare capacity to invest on equipment and software. But then in 2019, we sat down again, and I did research on the various BIM software out there in the market. I am blessed having the opportunity to attend PAM CPD Unlimited 2019 in Kuala Lumpur in the PAM Center. I met Abu Zarim, A.R. Abu Zarim, A.R. Ang Zaying, Mr. Mo, Michael Lam, and through encouragement by Mr. Gabriel Wong. Special thanks to you guys. And the affirmation for us to go into BIM came further when I follow up a visit to PAM Sabah chapter event in 2019 also. And what software should we go into at that time? Should we go for the various software I display here? In the end, the firm decided to go to Graphisoft ArchiCAD. Now, all of you will have your own decision basis, but whatever is the reason, go for it. But bear in mind, going into BIM, meaning to say upskilling the staff, meaning also to upgrade your PCs, your laptops, and to update your software. And once you're committed to it, don't look back, move forward, and let's do it. Now, advantages on cloud. We decided to go into BIMCloud purely because there is no guarantee that our server in the office will not break down. Plus, in our office, coming from Kuching, we do have a problem of getting IT specialists or anybody with IT skill wanting to work in a small firm. They rather come in as a business person, and they charge you per attendance. That goes around about 180 ringgit per attendance. Whether they solve the problem, not solve the problem, that is another matter. Now, that's why we decided to go to cloud. And what we realized in cloud, this is sharing of experience, is that we can control the accessibility. And we also realized we reduce time on dissemination of information. For example, back then when we using CAD, we will email to our engineer, to the MNE, to the QS, etc. That physical movement to email, and then due to limited broadband width where our office is, it took hours, sometimes 30 minutes, sometimes 45 minutes, sometimes 1 hour before the file is uploaded and then eventually being shared out via email. Now the beauty, once we use cloud, the other party will get notification via WhatsApp or phone call that they can download, or using the instant messaging inside the BIMCloud. Guys, I've updated the file, something like that, and they can download immediately. The issue about maintenance breakdown is all being managed by the cloud operator. And of course, nothing is free. So you can offset your costs on equipment in your own office against your subscription of the cloud license. Next slide. This one here is where we are. Asyraf have shown you the environment, the Graphisoft BIMCloud as a service environment. Here we are actually a user of that BIMCloud, and is operated by Graphisoft. And users are given passwords and login name, and correctly, as mentioned by Encik Asyraf, is quite similar to you going into your HSBC bank account portal or Maybank to you portal. So, but then the point to consider is the more number of users that you give the password, the more then you have to pay for the subscription based on the number of users. So to date, there's no limitation on memory storage that we can store in these cloud services. And then to date, we have 4 projects that we have uploaded into the cloud, and the engineer, M&E, QS are all from different firms, and there's no incident of breakdown. So who owns the cloud? Graphisoft owns the cloud, but it's licensed to ASB as a subscription. Even though our architects in the office, there are 13 of them, but at this juncture, we are only signed up for 7 users from the office to access. Out of the 7 users, 6 are dedicated ASB personnel, and 1 is to enable the consultant to access. We are the persons licensed to operate this particular cloud. In the current work experience, most consultants are not BIM ready or having BIM, but of a different software. For example, we are using ArchiCAD, they may be using Revit. So I'm not worried, because the ArchiCAD software itself can actually save file into RVT or any other platform. In the old days, we used to save file as DXF, if you're familiar with that. Now this one is save file into IFC, a common platform. And in future, for other projects, we can always add on the accessibility of users into the cloud. This is a short video looking into us assessing the cloud services. I have to do a bit of masking on the project because of confidentiality. We do not have, we have not get the approval from the client that the project name can be displayed. And let me start on this. Here we are keying in the password. The user there is one of our architect, a BIM, who is also a BIM coordinator, Ning. And once you log in, and you will come to this page, and then here you can see from here that we have 4 projects actively being put into the BIM cloud. And from one particular project, you can introduce subfolders, and naturally architecture folders are files are in ArchiCAD files, but those files that are in ArchiCAD files can easily be converted into IFC, BIMX, or even RVT. And these are the usernames and structural engineer, M&E engineer, etc. And the roles of all of these consultants can be limited. Are they allowed to modify, to download, to read only, or even to upload files? So these are some of the beauty about this BIMCloud. And yeah, this is talking about the different roles that which each individual can be are granted access. Okay, so I will stop the slide, the video, and move on to the next slide. Now, experience and as a case study, talking about BIM. First of all, we start with architect, and then the architect will draw it out, whatever the project is, then they will upload into the BIM cloud. The architect may continue working in the BIM cloud, meaning that particular file at the same time his colleague is also working on it at the same time. Does it create problem? No, because personally I am physically now in Kuala Lumpur, but my staff are in KL. I may be opening the same file while my senior architects or other people are looking at the same file while I'm editing. There's no issue about them not able to move the mouse or pages, etc. There's no issue that we encountered so far. But for them to get the latest version, there will be a command button, save and receive, so that they see that those changes that happen. Now, consultant members can access also into the BIM cloud. Consultant may be using different platforms such as Revit or Glodon, and the architect can easily convert to .rvt or .ifc. And from that point onwards, architect and consultant can collaborate and do clash detection or agree on disagree on certain decision making. The questions we ask: who maintain and host the cloud? Once you subscribe to it, the cloud is licensed to you. At the moment, the cloud is maintained by us. I use the word maintain here, not talking about repairing the what we call repairing the hardware, but it's more on maintaining that we are the owner and we are the one who decide who comes in and who doesn't comes in. So access is granted to selected individual from consultant team to download and upload files, etc. How long will we maintain the cloud? We currently run 4 projects on cloud, on BIM Cloud, and at the moment, it will be maintained continuously. Of course, payment for the license will be made yearly. This is license to use the cloud. I'm not talking about the license of the software. Yeah? And access to other consultant will be limited up to tender stage, and then during construction, the files can and will be uploaded to cloud on whatever platform maintained or used by the owner or the contractor. Is it wise to allow non-staff to access the cloud license to your firm? Well, we are at infant stage. We started BIM fully in early 2020. Now working on one job comprises of 23 buildings of different type, single story, double story, three story. We have not got the opportunity to do a 80-story building. Maybe Merdeka 118 can come to our site. Who knows? But there are glitches, and we are addressing these issues positively. I see this on a bigger picture. Well, myself and one of my staff is in KL, and the core operation is in Kuching. Geography is not an issue. The issue is connectivity. The issue will be internet accessibility. So geography is not an issue. Now, in one of the private job that we're working on, we are using glue laminated timber. The team are actually based in Australia, and for them, we are granting access to them so that they are able to download files whenever the architect side improve the drawings, and what best to do it is through access into the cloud. Okay, now hopefully the younger aspiring architects, you can look into this storage via BIMCloud rather than physical server. But if you do have it, it's fine, no harm done. But you're talking about collaboration with other consultant outside your town. I'm not talking about outside Malaysia, outside your town. In summary, all our project, we do deal with consultants who are not BIM ready, and hence we are having files that are saved in IFC, RVT, DWG, PDF, Excel, JPEG, all those relevant data that we want the team to have access are stored in the BIM cloud. Then this comes in, the Texas incident, whereby freak storm affecting the whole state of Texas, and millions are left without electricity. So I start to worry. Then I call Asyraf. Then I said, Asyraf, are we going to have problem with our data? Then the truth be told is Graphisoft is running on Google platform, and Google will be having multiple sites to store data. Imagine one of the site is Texas, your data is gone, maybe because no electricity or you can't access it, but they have backup on different zone, and that backup would enable you to have access to your files and would enable you to continue your work. So this is my last slide. And my name is Mohammad Affrin Samsudin, and thank you, Pam.
Thank you, Architect Affrin. Now we can go directly spot on spot on presentation on time. Have you done that? Okay. Now we go to the question session, Q&A session. There's a question from Architect Gary Wong on the BIM Cloud. Can BIM Cloud use to share model derived from other platform? I know that we do. I know that you do. You can do it. And BIM Cloud have built-in instant messaging, which team members in the same platform can communicate. Does BIM Cloud able to communicate with other member who is not on the same platform? Can you explain that, Mr. Asyraf?
Okay, thank you, Nurfatehah. So, Gary, of course, if can you hear me? Can I?
Yes,
Okay.
we can hear you.
So the idea is, of course, we cannot directly communicate through different platform, right? But at least we have the solution. You just let's say another party using another BIM platform, they can transfer the file using either the IFC, or if using the RVT, you can use RVT to the BIM cloud. Then we can link this model to the main model as a coordination or collaboration. Of course, this communication messaging platform only can be through on ArchiCAD and BIMX user only. So at the end of the day, what you can do is from the BIM, the Revit model that you already transfer as a reference model in the ArchiCAD, right? You can publish this model to the BIMX. Then the people still can comment on that or messaging through that if you have a full BIM cloud access. I think hopefully I just answer your question.
Okay. There's another question from Boon Kwantong. Is there any ArchiCAD training course available if I sign up?
Of course, there you can type learn.graphisoft.com to see they have a few ArchiCAD training course there. But of course, it will be based on the what I call the SSA user only, means the one who subscribe the user only. So generally, if you want to get a specific course, then you need to register as a SSA user first. If you are ArchiCAD user, then you can get this access. And some of them you can get a free training course, but some of them they have a few charges that you need to pay to attach to the courses, like the BIM Manager program. Yeah.
You can go to your center or what?
Actually, like current situation, right? Mostly like last 2 years. Sometimes the team from the from the HQ came here and give learning training, right? But now because of the online session, what I call the current situation, we will move mostly of the training to online session. So it's I think it's better. You can means we can still join the training anywhere, any place.
So on the training part online, how do you conduct that?
Normally, of course, they have a basic the course that split course. But at the end of the day, you can get the online conduct directly from the trainer, or you can be a list of questions that you need to answer based on the task that they give you, or it can be hybrid to both. So depend on the course.
So the participant can actually share their screen and then show the tutor how to do it, and then
Yes.
okay, cool.
Yes.
All right. Another one question from Tung. Can we import dense cloud model to ArchiCAD?
I'm not sure it's dense cloud model, but
I think point clouds.
if point cloud, then it should be can. It's possible to transfer your model from the point cloud to the ArchiCAD part. You can even generate, let's say you have a mesh, right, on the point cloud file, right? It can translate it automatically in ArchiCAD to get the mesh contour.
Okay. All right. Now I want to go to architect Affrin. Okay. How do you manage when you first started? How do you manage the different attitudes coming from your staff and then coming from the consultants in your project? When you ask them, yeah, we are going to do this, but you overcrew.
Okay, can you hear me, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I would like to answer that question. Very interesting question. My personal approach would be to lead as an example. I am 49 years old and I equip myself to know BIM and to use BIM. I just don't talk about BIM. I don't talk about ArchiCAD to my staff, but I actually learn and force myself to learn. Then secondly, very important is in selecting softwares, the support system from vendors are very, very crucial. The vendor must be willing to give after sales service. And there are issues that arise not only during office hours, but outside office hours. And that being said, I would say changes do not happen overnight. We explored BIM in 2016 and 2019. We started migration only in 2020. Other consultants who are not using BIM at the moment, we can only accommodate them by supplying drawings in CAD version whenever they requested it. But we hope the benefit to our own staff, which are very apparent and very obvious to them, and then they realize the production time and mitigating errors are very quick and swift, thus open awareness on their side to BIM. Nonetheless, event like this, PAM CPD Unlimited and the ongoing promotion by PAM on BIM is very good, and not only to members but to non-members.
Are you able to convert some of them to do BIM?
Well, okay. Internally, we have two uncles in the office. No, sorry, one uncle, one auntie. They are 65 and 59 years old. And that uncle was a hardcore manual drafting, self-learned ArchiCAD. Now he is, no, self-learned AutoCAD. And now he was saying to me, can I be next in line to be trained in ArchiCAD? So that is internally. And in one of the detached house that we're working on, when they are seeing that we are producing drawings using BIM product, ArchiCAD specifically, he's an engineer. He says, bro, I'd like to know more. Can you accommodate time so that my staff can come over to your office and sit down and see the benefits of it? So this is work in progress. Changes will take time, but I believe we would be having 1 or 2 engineers, migrating
Right.
to BIM product.
All right. Okay. One question from Muhammad Shukri, Muhammad Noor. I think this is open. How much it will cost to start using Graphisoft ArchiCAD for small startup firm?
Okay, I cannot answer that question. Ashraf must answer that question.
Well, okay, all right. Of course, they have, in Malaysia, we have, depending of the customer of, their financial things. So, of course, the best part you can start with, if you depend on the, the users. If you have a 1 or 2 users only, but mostly you will do for small job, right? So you can start with the solo first, ArchiCAD solo. But if you want to make a collaboration, then you need to have a full, what you call ArchiCAD full version to get the BIM collaboration, or what you call the collaboration lah, through the BIMCloud or through the teamwork project, right? So depending, or at the end of the day, I think for the small start firm, you can start 2 or 3 license first, to make sure that the user can understand how to use it. The good thing about Graphisoft is they provide you at the current at the meantime free training in the package, free training, even direct support for the BIM basic basic ArchiCAD training, and also we do the enhance all in one course only. So if you want to know more, I can link you to our distributor here, because she the one who decide. She is Puan Noria from Rasli Network. Maybe later I will pass you the contact if you want to know more about in terms of the price. Yeah.
You can give the ballpark figure on that.
Depending, because now because the price is right
Based
is
on currency.
a currency, so sometimes it can be up and down.
Okay.
Yeah, hujan saja turun, langit semua naik. Okay.
The price is tied down to the euro exchange, isn't it?
Yes, yes, yeah. That's why I cannot give a exactly figure.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So Architect Affrin, for the BIM collaboration, did you use any specific BIM implementation management plan for your
Okay,
project?
very good question, Ms. Noor. 4 projects that we went through, 3 projects are private jobs, and we are using the BIM execution plan or implementation management plan, adopting from RIBA BIM protocol. Because in RIBA, being a RIBA member, I have access to documents, BIM protocol for Revit or BIM protocol for ArchiCAD. So they have a dedicated protocol and BEP. But the job which we are very much working on now, involving 23 buildings, these are federal JKR project. So when we work with JKR, then we will adopt based on JKR BEP plan. Yeah, that's my answer.
Okay. I believe that JKR project is much more complex, is it? The way that they're doing their framework.
Okay, in the JKR project is a simple utilitarian buildings, basically 23 buildings, single story, double story, triple story. But JKR is a big team to work with. They have their own dedicated BIM auditor. Then they have their own dedicated EIA consultant, energy efficiency consultant team. So all this have to be put together. One of those key aspects that they are looking at is how do you name the building? So many buildings, how do you name it? The intention is naming a building is important because every one of the private consultant involved in the project must use the same name. It cannot be architect put it bangunan pentadbiran, the other one say admin building. So it has to be the same name so the file goes together and can be read easily. And then secondly is how do you layer the building? When we do brick wall, for example, do we want to call it architect brick wall? For example, or layer brick wall. So
Yeah.
they have that's why this protocol comes into place. We are adjusting to it and we are trying to work on it. In fact, just last week we were having close collaboration with our engineer to come to an agreed definition and layer naming, and that will be later on a much later stage. We'll be sitting down with the JKR BIM unit for verification.
Is the client is very much involved in your process
Uh,
or just among your consultants?
well, there's two part of exercise on our side. Our interaction with the technical with the consultant happens every week, and then interaction with the client happens almost every 2 weeks. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
very much involved.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Hope the
Then
attendees can give some question.
yeah. Uh, if I may encourage this for all the audience, the architects, especially the young architects. I currently in the office we have about three fresh graduate architects. I think this is the season where the local youths are start applying for job.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and what we notice, their exposure on tools for drawing are still limited to SketchUp and AutoCAD.
Yeah.
And of course, there's no dedicated uh, topic or credentials regarding this, but for them to be able to market themselves well, please learn by yourself the BIM software, either Revit, either MicroStation, either ArchiCAD. It gives you a bit of mileage on your employability. Then, and we have one staff who is Revit trained, but when we ask him, being office is now using ArchiCAD, does he has a problem to operate ArchiCAD? And what he shared with us is that it is quite seamless and it's the comprehension, because coming from an architect background, I'm not saying the other product is not good, but coming from the architect background, because of our creativity process and sometimes just a little bit of shifting of the window make a lot of difference on the
Mm-hmm.
building facade.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
That is the satisfaction that we also gain. And there are add-ons into all these ArchiCAD. All these softwares is good for the future, is good for client, and then to translate those softwares into what most people are used to, which is printed A1 size drawing with title blocks and all that. It is still possible. It can be done. In fact, Asyraf has another video showing BIMX, but because of time, he was
Yes.
not able to share it. Perhaps
Yeah.
Asyraf, you share to everybody your BIMX video so
Mm.
that they can see. Hey,
Yeah.
ArchiCAD is not. I mean, the BIM product is not just 3D, but it can be translated into 2D
Yes.
drawings for council, bomba
Yes.
to check drawings, etc.
Yes. Maybe
I think you can
I
share the video while waiting
Yeah.
for the question
sure.
coming up.
Yes.
Before that, I think I want to touch a little bit from Akika. Of course, they have people think about what they will get one software only, right? Actually,
Mm.
they can get at least three solutions from them. See, three solutions, different platform means first they will get the authorized tool, authorizing tool Akika, right? The second one is a BMX for you to sell your design or showing to your client using the very nice and beautiful presentation. And then the third one is a BIMCloud. Of course, they have a BIMCloud basic. It's a free, but it's for internal purpose only.
Mm.
They say like the firm, small office that the one who asked the question, right? They still can using collaboration, but using the BIMCloud basic is a free, but for internal purpose only. Inside the office only. You cannot push to outside. Uh, and also, I just share the link here, in the chat. You can just click that link and then download the trial. For you to try. They have a trial for 30 days. It's a full access. You still can play around with a lot of things with this trial. You know, you can try out, or if you want to make have you know, a tutorial, the basic tutorial, you can go to YouTube and go to ArchiCAD channel. They have a short video, so you can learn from there.
I like to add that. You know how I learned ArchiCAD? Mostly from
Okay,
YouTube.
maybe you can
No?
highlight.
From YouTube.
You have to spend time for that. Invest some
Yes,
time. Yeah.
yes. And then COVID really helps to reinforce why we go into cloud, BIM cloud. Because you see, imagine during COVID and pandemic, you have, though your client will expect you to finish work or deliver something by certain deadline, but the staff cannot physically go to office and take those files.
Yeah.
Now, this is the major advantage. The moment the files are saved in BIM cloud, they are at home, they are in KL, they are in KK or Langkawi, wherever they are able to download and continue with the work and trying to their best to keep to the deadline. That is the beautiful thing about files being stored in BIM Cloud, and that information can also be shared and notified to the supporting consultant, engineer, M&E. Hey guys, files are ready. Please continue your work, and the deliverables of by that particular team is fantastic. That's what we encountered.
Maybe I can share one of the video if possible.
Okay.
Okay. So let me share my screen. So do I need to click share? Sorry. Okay, this is file share. So where's the video? Maybe yeah. Okay. Start from. Can you see now?
Yes.
Yeah.
So maybe I can start from the video. So the idea is in the in this system, right? Not only, of course, at the end of the day, you want to show your design after you do your, you know, your the BIM model with all the data there, right? So in here, you can use through BIM Cloud and BIM using the mobile presentation, that you can present your model to very intuitive and with you know, very what you call interactive way to your prospect or client or your client. Using, you see, like using mobile platform, either your iPhone, your iPad, even you can change your model to the VR mode. So you can imagine for one platform that they have a lot of things that it's a matter for you to digging out to try, you know, to use all the function that they have. That you can get, like I said, is in one price, I can say. Of course, they have additional. If you want to get some more, then you can need to add more, like this big cloud AS, right? But overall, for the basic big cloud is good enough already. You know, the basic solution. You need to have ArchiCAD. Automatically, you get the BMax and the big cloud basic, and also plus we have Twinmotion. Maybe later you can highlight about Twinmotion also. Previously, this Twinmotion is similar to Lumion. You need to pay about maybe 8,000-9,000 to get that platform, right? Now it came together free with one cost only. Sorry, okay, that's all. Maybe I can stop here. Okay. Maybe we have another question.
I'm just curious, Mr. Asyraf, if you is it your BIM Cloud is uh, protected from hacker? Eco-free?
Yes, I understand that. Like you can imagine, right? The platform, you can imagine if this we worry about the security, right?
Yes.
But the system actually is quite familiar with the bank system. You know, like when you log into your bank, to you, they have a specific username and password for you to log in, right? And now we even using Google Cloud base. So this Google Cloud base is very secure. Until now, I think this is the most secure cloud in the world. So that's why we use Google Cloud, and it's very established and very stable and easy to use. Just it can be just a database. You don't even think about that big Google Cloud platform because it's do by us. Everything done by us through the big cloud AAS lah. Like Tuan Affrin using now as a even you can custom your UI of your big cloud based on the company need. You see like Affrin, the generate one is blue, right? Only blue view only. But you can custom to put your logo there. Even in your project also you can put specific logo to share to your client that this model or drawing or design is belong to this specific company. So people cannot see that. Even through the mobile phone also, if you not allow that, then the other people cannot see the project unless you set that as a public. Yeah.
Other than your product now, do you have any when you get the points clouds and then sometimes you need to convert that into models? Do you have that capability?
Yes. Last time I have been made with some company from GIS. GIS, right? We tried it already. They just give some data from the point cloud. Somewhere in Indonesia, I cannot say the place, right? And when we transfer the point cloud to the architect, automatically we generate the contour of the land. So the idea is from this thing, you can do your cut and paste, when you do your project, right? Automatically using the system. As long as you have the data. But most of all, not only point cloud, even if you have a 2D CAD, right, with the contour of the land also, you can mapping that. They have a way to do that in ArchiCAD to get the contour. Of course, it depends on the information that we have to generate that. Yeah.
All right.
Do you have any question? So maybe I can share another link here from Graphisoft Learn. You can try to check from here. So this is the official Graphisoft Learn portal that you can explore to see the course there. But for your information, every architect customer that in Malaysia, we provide automatically the basic cost, so you don't even need to pay more for the process. Yeah.
Shamsia Abdullah asking about the price. So
Okay.
you make it. Can you give the person in charge
Sure.
for her to
Okay.
contact?
Sure.
Because the price is not
yes,
fixed.
I cannot say that, but maybe it's around something 70 up to 20, even more around there in terms of the full version. But they have a light, we call that solo version. Depend on your situation. Of course, the light version or solo, they have some less capacity than the full version. Limitation, like they cannot do BIMCloud coordination, they can do solo only, something like that. It's like single CAD file, but it's BIM file, BIM tool. Yeah, that's all. Later I will get back to you, or I can pass the contact one. Okay? Or you can contact me directly.
Can you share with us how many architects in Malaysia have used ArchiCAD?
I cannot reveal the name because sometimes they're very big company in Malaysia, like the developer, right? So, but they have a lot actually in Malaysia. Even of course we just actively directly from the Graphisoft starting enter to Malaysia for I think for last 3 years. Before that we highlight to the distributor. They do a good job in Malaysia, but we enter here to help more than in terms of the technical part, the acknowledgement, how to do this in the correct way, something like that. Mostly for the technical part, but they have a lot. If you from Kuala Lumpur, Penang, even in Johor, even Sabah and Sarawak. I think most of the company also, a lot of user there from Sabah and Sarawak. Maybe because they, maybe some of them graduate from Australia or Europe, right? Mostly on their education hub, they teach AutoCAD when they do the project. I think that's why most of the users from Sarawak and Sabah, because they learn in Australia, so we choose AutoCAD as a base for the BIM project.
Do you have any idea the success rate of their fully into BIM?
Yeah, yeah. Mostly because I'm the one who do the technicals, right? Sometimes I helping them to fix the problem in terms of the project, right? What I can say now, actually, most of them is very good in terms of the technical, but they just not share their experience to the. But later, I think we need to do another session.
Yeah.
To get the sharing session with the architect in Malaysia. Now I also running my own sharing session, the Graphisoft own sharing session, but we pass it mainly for the user only, for the customer. But maybe later we can set to the public so everybody can join and see the benefit with the real project that they use.
Can you give a rough, any idea on the rough duration or years they take to actually being
Learn.
competent to that to use that?
For my perspective, of course, I am Graphisoft, so I don't want to buying, right. But you can imagine, my background is QS, right? But I can do design, I can do the documentation. I even can do QS work inside ArchiCAD. You can imagine, I'm even not the architecture practice. But why I can do this? Because I think that this software is very intuitive and easy to use. That's why I think people need to try, just download, go to the ArchiCAD, just download the trial. Of course, you need to have a guide. If you want to have a guide, I can teach you how to use it. But here you can go to YouTube and start from beginning, from the basic, so you can see the how easy it is. Yeah.
Affrin, I've just been wondering, do you when you set your BIM journey, is there any short-term goal, mid-term goal, and long-term goal for you?
The ultimate goal is, at the end of the day, is survival. And
Okay.
our short-term goal was initially we're looking at by phases because to buy software it costs money. So we train 3 people plus myself, that's 4 people, and I isolate myself away from the three staff. Reason I do this is I want them to learn freely without obstruction. Hey, the boss is here, so so that they don't feel smitten by my or annoyed by my presence. So and like I said, the support system from the vendor is very good, and they flew in from Singapore to come to our office and stayed in Kuching for 2 days, and they trained our 3 staff. But while officially they train 3 staff, 5 or 6 others also sit in but they don't have the hands-on experience because the license we bought is only for three license back then. Then that is the short-term goal. These 3 staff will be trained to become BIM modeler. This terminology is a label to me, but there is label called BIM modeler, BIM manager, BIM coordinator. To me, once, in my opinion, once you're a BIM user, the hierarchy perhaps plays an important role towards the organization of the company. The BIM coordinators would then have to be a person who coordinate not only within the company but outside the company. Now, the short-term goal was that three people. The mid-term goal we eventually bought. Total now we have 8 license. From 3 now we have 8 license within the period of 6 months, because we see the benefit was very good. So we trained further 5 people, and that 5 people are trained by the first 3 people. And when, of course, the first 3% are not really that expert yet. And that's where the support system comes in again. And we regularly do Zoom meeting or a team viewer as a tools to actually open the ArchiCAD file. So friends from Asyraf or the support system from Singapore, they can actually tell us where did we go wrong. Ultimately, the office would want to have everything to be on BIM, and we do have small job buat apa tu tandas dekat pejabat custom, 2 pintu cubicle tandas. So I told our staff, BIM it. Don't use CAD anymore. You BIM it, no matter how big or how small. And the engineer says, small toilet also you want to use BIM, so we still give them the file in DWG, and they can see within a small toilet, within the same day we complete plan, elevation section, door schedule and window schedule, even ceiling plan and sanitary schedule within the same day, unlike during the era when doing
All right.
DWG.
Okay, the time is up. Thank you guys for sharing with us.
Thank you, Ms. Noor.
Yeah, we would like to know more on the sharing part of it because everyone wants to know how to go about it. Yeah. Thank you. Hope to see you in the future. Both of you, Architect Affrin and Asyraf. Thank you very much.
Okay,
Thank
bye-bye.
you for the attendance.
Thank you. Okay.